MSNBC is failing and flailing in a way that we have not thought was possible. Now they're bringing Rachel Maddow out for an additional show, but not for her Rachel Maddow show. Why? What's going on? The logistics? We'll explain. It's an existential battle to survive against CNN. Hello, folks. Welcome back and happy Black Friday. Are you out there buying stuff? Are you out there spending the money and making a joyful Christmas season? Well, we hope you are, and we've got reason to believe that it's not so joyful over at MSNow, formerly MSNBC. We'll tell you all about it and why Rachel Maddow is being called forth to do even more. Well, to be on the air more than one day a week. That's a nice gig, eh? We'll talk about it. Here we go. Rachel Maddow is going to do more than one show a week. But what if I told you that it's weak sauce because the MSNow star, formerly MSNBC, is not doing another episode of her show? And there's a big reason why. We'll explain it. Let's dive in. By Will Sayer, I don't know, but it's out of parade. Rachel Maddow launches new project under revamped MSNBC brand, MSNow. The celebrated primetime host, 52, used to host the 9 p.m. hour on the cable news channel nightly, but she switched to weekly in 2022.
Very weekly.
Yeah, weekly. Rachel Maddow isn't going anywhere despite MSNBC's rebranding. In fact, the beloved primetime host, 52, has been prominently featured in the marketing campaign to drive awareness of MSNow, which now has a new podcast to be hosted by Maddow herself. The star talent of the cable news channel will launch Rachel Maddow Presents Burn Order on December 1st, according to The Hollywood Reporter. Burn Order is set to expose the extraordinary chain of events behind the U.S. government's decision to forcibly target and incarcerate Japanese American citizens at the outset of World War II. Okay? The first 2 episodes will debut December 1st, with new episodes hitting the masses each Monday thereafter. And you might say to yourself, okay, well, now, wait a minute. So they're going to release weekly Rachel Maddows, but it's not going to be the Rachel Maddow show. Considering how popular she is, and considering how unpopular the channel is otherwise, why don't they just put her on more times during the week? And we've got an answer for that, folks. We know why they're doing this. Would you like to know why they're doing this? We're going to explain it to you. You ready?
Oh, please.
If we go to Ad Week right now, November 6th, this was published, but it's the most recent we have for what we need. You'll see what we're getting at. This is going to be by Mr. Machiro. Mark, that is, okay? We're going to go all the way to the bottom. We don't need the ratings. We don't need that. Don't need that. Nope. Here's what we need. We need the top 15 shows among total viewers. And you'll notice they don't report past the top 15. Nobody does, okay? In the 13th spot, the only show from MSNBC/MSNow is the Rachel Maddow show on MSNBC again, and it gets 1.6 million viewers.
It's not just the only show from MSNBC now. It's the only show that isn't a Fox show.
That's exactly right. And how does it compare? 1.6 million versus the top show on Fox is The 5 with 3.7. I mean, it's 3.69, rounded up, 3.7. So 1.6 versus 3.7. And then Jesse Waters is at 3. Gutfield's at 2.8. You see, the Rachel Maddow show is nowhere close to get to being up in there. But let me tell you something. It's close enough. It's only 300,000 viewers away from potentially getting in the top 10. Now, what about the demo? The demo really matters, okay? The demo, which is the age 25 to 54, aka the people who buy the things that the advertisers are selling, and thus they really matter a lot. You'll notice the number's much smaller because the viewership for these cable news channels skews quite older. Gutfeld again in the lead, the 5 after that, 325,000 for the Gutfeld. 5 is at 304. Jesse is at 295. All of it's Fox except for one single show. But it's dropped down. It's 14th. Barely in the list. Rachel Maddow show. MSNBC, now MSNow, 156,000. Barely makes the top 15. What do we know about every single one of these shows? Every single one of them, besides the fact that it's on Fox. Marvin, how many times are all of these shows on during the week?
Quite a few, right? Like a lot of them are daily, right?
Daily, yes.
Right. Yeah. All of these are daily. Every single one of them, except for one. It just so happens the only show from MSNBC/MSNow that's in the list is also the only show that comes on one time a week, which means it's can't miss for her audience. What would happen if Rachel Maddow suddenly was on MSNBC 5 days a week? or even 4 days, or even just 3.
Less urgency to watch.
Exactly.
That 1.6 probably falls under $1 million.
And what happens then? MSNBC loses its only show that manages to break into the top 15. And it would be Fox from top to bottom. And thus, ladies and gentlemen, thus the reason that Rachel Maddow cannot add more shows, even though she's paid this insane amount of money. And surely they would love for her to be on more. She can't. Because the minute she does so, it's a PR nightmare for them because it will show they have nothing. They and CNN, but CNN isn't personality driven. CNN has great viewership during the day because of airports and assisted living. MSNBC doesn't. So if Rachel Maddow's gone, they have nothing. The Jen Psaki turnover failed terribly. They'd love to circle back and get rid of that. This is the reason that they've got to put out a completely separate Rachel Maddow show that's a documentary, because they need her on the channel, but they can't add more of her to her own show. Lou, you think do we have them?
Yeah, absolutely. But I have a couple of questions about this.
Yeah.
How come they have to over and over tell you she's 52 years old? Why? I don't even get it.
Her contract.
Secondly, since her new show is about the detention of Asian people during World War II, isn't Simi Lou going to complain about her co-opting his heritage?
That's a great question. Maybe Simi Lou should be in this. Yeah. He should be interviewed for this, right?
Well, do you think she's going to talk to George Takei? He was actually in
George Takei, absolutely.
His family was actually incarcerated.
Yes, he was in them. Yeah.
So MSNBC, now MS Now. And by the way, I don't know if you guys saw this, but the ratings dropped. Did you guys see that the ratings dropped the week this thing came out? Which is almost impossible to do. It's like a redo on a restaurant. It's like a rebranding.
Cracker Barrel, can we say?
Right. Somehow they dropped. Well, Cracker Barrel for sure. That's a great point. They're the Cracker Barrel of cable news, Lou. That's a great point.
Without the biscuits.
Yeah, no biscuits. And we didn't mean that as a euphemism, Marvin. Don't take it there. We're not talking about.
I'm not saying that the leadership there looking at these ratings isn't drinking lots of mimosas for $6 a pitcher, but that's another story.
That's another story. Okay, so here's the deal, guys. If we look at this, the other part of it is that CNN likely to be owned very soon by the Ellisons. Now, just think about this for a minute, okay? If the Ellisons with Skydance Paramount purchase CNN through Warner Brothers, that cable channel is likely to be moderated, and it's going to be run by Barry Weiss. And in fact, we're hearing now that Skydance Paramount, which essentially they're going to get it. I mean, we're down to just how in the world can anybody else get it?
Rumors are right now that Comcast is about to drop out. So
and that's
sure
over.
There.
Right, and Netflix already dropped out. Everybody has already dropped out. So Paramount and Skydance is going to get it. Now, if they get CNN, the only liberal cable news channel that's left will be MS Now, which is a total reversal from everything we've had for the past.
And by the way, wait a minute though. Comparing MS Now to them without the NBC portion that used to be there. Remember, CNN has bureaus around the world. So does CBS. MSN, MS Now, no. So they're totally separate from a quote unquote traditional news organization.
Well, so they say that that CNN still actually generates money because of the contracts that it has with the airports and the hotels and places like that. So I think that's kind of what they want to do. Why Paramount wants it, because if they could bring it to the middle and then they'll have that reach in those contracts, it'll be a moneymaker for them.
Well, so here's I guess what I'm driving towards is if Fox is going to become they are the right-wing channel, and if CNN is going to be the centrist channel, which one would assume, because that's how Barry Weiss seems to be running CBS News. I don't know what MSNBC can do except go full Mamdani. And I think that's what they're going to have to do. And that actually, so Rachel Maddow, I get that she's kind of crazy, but even she's not a Mamdani kind of person. And that's going to put a bunch of them over there in an uncomfortable place. They might have to race a lot of the personalities at MS Now and hire in a bunch of young Democratic socialists to get through this.
Well, that's the. Could you imagine like Joe Scarborough like being told he has to go like full Mom Donnie? I can't imagine that. I can see them hiring Joy Reid back though.
Bring her back, man. Bring her back. That's just the flavor of the day we got to have over there. Lou, what do you think about the Paramount Skydance thing and how it affects all of this?
Well, I've been saying since the beginning it was no contest. They were going to get it. And everybody, and all these people, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, right. Where are they at the end of the day? The other people were, remember, as I've said before, in order to even get the inside information you need to make a bid, you have to sign on to the, hey, I want to buy it all, which gets you the information about all the pieces that are liable to be spun off in the process. That's what these other outfits want. Is there anything there we can pick up that'll help us a little bit? And how much should we pay for it? So Barry Weiss is going to be running the whole shebang. And that's a good thing. And Barry Weiss is by no means a conservative. Please don't mistake that.
No.
What she is a straight ahead, straight shooter. And unlike some people we're looking at on the screen right now.
Oh, they're crazy. They're zany. There's no doubt about it.
What Barry Weiss is something that none of the people that were just on the screen in that shot were, and that's a journalist.
Yeah.
Like she actually cares about journalism. Like, despite the fact, like she worked for the New York Times and left because she couldn't stand the slant anymore.
Good point. It's a good point. And the landscape of cable news is going to be completely different. And I got to say this too. For a long time, we wondered how they could subsidize the suck of CNN and MSNBC, right? Fox News was just decimating them year after year after year after year. And it turns out that maybe the market has won, because how could you let Fox dominate that long without making changes? And yet, for a decade, Fox has just utterly defeated these two other stations. Now, with CNN perhaps going towards a new model, we could have a lot of fun. There could be some competition.
And when you talk about the market, a free market, it would have happened by now. But a market where the object is not necessarily to tell the truth, not even necessarily to make money, but to subsidize a political point of view, as we saw with Fallon and as we saw with all of these, Kimmel and Colbert. If they don't care to lose $40 million a year because, by God, we're educating all those dummies out there as to how they should think, then making money is not the business they're in. And if making money isn't the business they're in, why would anybody, no financial advice given, invest in it?
It's a good point. Folks, Rachel Maddow will be on MSNBC, more than she has been, but it won't be on her show because they cannot put her on anymore there, lest they dare drop her off of the ratings. And by George, that's not going to happen. And that's a wrap, ladies and gentlemen. We are done for now, but don't worry. Do not fret. Not yet, for more content is still coming your way 4 times a day right here on the Pro Channel. What a joy it has been to share our time with you. We hope you feel the same. Adding value to your every single day is our job here, and we take it very seriously. Folks, the only thing we ask in return is that you consider clicking that like button. Share, subscribe, click it. Stick it to those algorithms. It's the notification bell. And drop a comment right on down below. And folks, if you'd like to subscribe to our partner YouTube channels, That Park Place, That Pod Place, That Game Place, and some of those radio stations like Vacation Radio, well, we certainly would appreciate it. Until the next time we have the honor of spending time and being invited into your day, folks, we go on our way saying this: keep learning, keep growing, and as always, keep having fun.